Welcome to How to Talk to Anyone. This book is packed with practical tips to help you navigate almost any social situation, from how to break the ice, just start a conversation with someone, to deepening meaningful connections. Let's get started. Let's start with first impressions. When you first meet someone, the data they get in the first couple of seconds after meeting you is the data they will use for you for a very long time. So let's get good data in there, right? The first one is to use your flooding smile. Now, this is a little bit particular, and you don't want to smile the instant you meet somebody new. You want to wait a second so then they feel that that smile is just for them. Not that you smile all the time at everyone. You want them to feel that smile is for them. So, hi Joe, nice to meet you, is a little bit better, right? Because there's that extra little second there. The next technique is called sticky eyes. When you want to captivate your listener, you look at them and you don't break eye contact. You just keep your eyes on them all the time, as if they're the most fascinating thing you've ever seen. When you do have to take your eyes away, do it really slowly, like they're stuck to you, like your eyes are stuck to the person with taffy, and you gotta pull them away, because the person you're talking to is going to feel like you are really, really captivated by them. You can take it a step further and use epoxy eyes. That is where you look at the subject no matter what. You look at your person. Even if someone else is talking, you just look at your person. Be careful with that technique. Make sure it's perceived how you want it to be perceived. Another one is good posture. Make sure you're standing up straight, presenting yourself with confidence. Even if you don't feel confident, present yourself with confidence. It goes a long way in making a very good first impression. If you have good posture, well, it just looks better. It really just does. The next one is the happy baby. When you're introduced to someone for the first time, turn toward them, welcome them into your conversation, and then give them a big flooding smile like you're so happy to meet them. Oh, it's wonderful to meet you. Please join our conversation. We were just talking about skiing. Or whatever subject you were talking about. Who knows, right? Another twist on the happy baby can be the old friend greeting, where when you meet someone, you can establish a connection faster and more meaningfully if you pretend they're an old friend. And it is just such a shame that life has not allowed you to get together before now, but you're so happy to see them. Next, let's talk about what to say after you say hi, after you meet a person. Here's a little pro tip for you. The smarter the person you're talking to, the more they dislike small talk. Small talk is ultimately about putting people at ease. A way to do that is to try to match your listener's mood, and then due to mirroring, you're going to bring them around to your thoughts a little bit as well. Ultimately, though, it really just is about making people feel comfortable. What you say is far less important than how you say it. Example, did I tell you that I drank a glass of water yesterday? Okay, that sounded really exciting and passionate. Is drinking a glass of water an exciting activity? Not really for most people, probably, but why did I make it sound exciting? So if you say it with passion and enthusiasm, the message will get there whether the words are exciting or not. When you get ready for any kind of social gathering, it can really help to pick an interesting shirt or a fun accessory or a cool watch or neat shoes. Give what's called a what's it kind of something for someone to approach you and talk about. Like, I might wear really cool earrings, or I might have a neat watch band on, or a great necklace, my favorite shoes, a fun skirt. You pick your thing and then just make it so that someone could walk up to you and say, oh, that's a great whatever. Where did you get that? And then it gives people a way to approach you and talk to you, and it's really simple. When someone asks you where you're from or what you do, don't just give one response. Don't say, I'm from Michigan, like I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan. That's not a way to keep a conversation going. What you want to do is find out some cool things about where you're from and have those ready. I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan, where this happens, or it's the home of X, or whatever. Some event just happened there. Something about that can invite the conversation to move forward. It's the same with when someone asks you inevitably at one of these, what do you do? Well, you don't just want to say, I'm a financial analyst. That's kind of boring. I mean, financial analysis may not be boring, but that is a really boring response. So I help people plan their financial futures. That sounds a little more exciting, and it does invite another question. It invites the conversation forward. So don't give them a one-line response. Expand on it and invite more conversation. Try the parroting technique. If you are at a loss of things to say, simply repeat the last few words your listener said. The person who's talking, you just repeat the last few words. Oh, we just went skiing. Skiing? Yes, there's this great mountain that we love. We go to it every year. It's a really fun way to get away for a few days. Get away for a few days? Yeah, sometimes our work is really stressful and we just need a weekend away, and this is one of the best places to have fun and relax for a while. They have great snacks. Oh, great snacks? Do you see how that works? Just repeat the last few words and that keeps them talking, and you don't have to come up with things to say, but you still get to learn awesome, amazing things about a person, and the conversation keeps moving. Last technique for this part, before you leave the house for a gathering, always make sure you have something to talk about. Go online, check the news, check Twitter, X, check whatever information outlets you have to make sure you have something to talk about that is going on in the world right now, whatever it is. People can always talk about the news. So go to whatever your news outlet is and find 3 things you could talk about depending on who you're talking to and what their mood is and they're talking about. That will absolutely arm you with some conversation fodder. Always try to turn the spotlight on the other person. Everyone loves to talk about themselves, so they're going to feel more special and like you're more interested in them if you continue to put the conversation, the spotlight onto them, and then they continue to talk about themselves. To sound really smart in a conversation, think of some common words like good and happy and elegant, and then go look up some synonyms for those words with Copilot, or, just Google them and find a little bit less common words that mean the same thing, and that people still understand. Like, instead of telling someone she looks pretty, tell someone she looks elegant or glamorous or gorgeous. It doesn't take any extra effort, and it sounds so smart when you can use a word that is still simple and meaningful, but a little bit less common. When you discover you have something in common with the person you're talking to, don't reveal it right away. Keep the conversation going for a while and reveal it closer to the end or further into the conversation. That person who's listening to you will be so much more impressed. They may be flabbergasted that, oh, we have that in common too? That's amazing. They're going to feel much closer to you that way. Whenever you can, try to do the thinking for the other person. Example is, instead of asking, can I have Friday off, boss? Ask, boss, could you do without me Friday? So then that eliminates an entire thought. Instead, if you ask, can I have Friday off? Then the boss has to then think, can she have Friday off? Can I do without her Friday? I guess I can do without you Friday. If you leave out that first prompt and just say, can you do without me Friday? Yes, I can do without you Friday. It's less mental processing. You're more likely to get the answer you want that way. So coming up with your own turns of phrase, instead of saying something like hungry as a horse, say, I am hungry as a hippopotamus who skipped breakfast. Make it visual, make it compelling, make it exciting, but come up with your own, not just the same tired old ones. It's much cooler that way. Never ever make a joke at anyone else's expense. If you're going to make a joke, make it at your own expense. Self-deprecating humor can be funny if it's done context appropriate. Don't ever make a deprecating joke at someone else's expense. It doesn't come off well. If someone asks you a question you don't want to answer, have an answer prepared and just repeat that answer over. Every time the question is asked, just repeat your same boilerplate answer. And keep it vague, keep it simple, and just make it very clear. Usually it can take up to 3 times of someone asking you the question. The example in the book is, you and your husband separated, so what's going on with the company? And the woman says, we've separated, but the company is unaffected. But what's going on with the company? What's really going on with you? The woman replies, we've separated, but the company is unaffected. Then she tries one more time. No, really, what is happening with you guys? We have separated, but the company is unaffected. Say it the exact same tone, look them in the eye, everything, thwart off that question. If they're not getting anywhere with you after about 3 attempts, they're going to stop. They may stop before then. Most people would stop after the first answer, if they even asked the question at all. Never just say thank you to someone. Thank them for a specific thing. Thank you so much for coming to the party. Thank you for games the other night. They were great. Thank you so much for that coffee cup for my birthday. It was fantastic. I use it every single day. Don't just say thank you. Say thank you for something. It's much more specific. It's much more personal. How to be an insider in any crowd. Once a month, go do something that you would never do. Mix it up. Go fly a kite. Go take salsa dancing lessons. Sign up for a scuba class. Go do Pilates with some people. Try a martial art. Something you would not ordinarily do. Go do it. And then you immediately, with 1 or 2 lessons or 1 or 2 activities, you're going to get the inside lingo. And then you're immediately going to be able to talk to people who go and do martial arts, or people who fly kites, or the salsa dancers. You're going to get the terms. You're going to have the experience. That's going to be in your brain to pull out when you talk to that salsa dancer. And immediately you're the in crowd. If you go visit a country that you don't live in, pick up 1 or 2 books, or go online and find out what the customs for where you're going are, and make sure you internalize those. It puts you in the in crowd. It makes you much less likely to make an embarrassing mistake. And we want to think people are forgiving of other cultures. Sometimes, however, there are things that you do in your culture that they absolutely don't do in the place you're visiting, and it might be really offensive. So get a book on the cultures, get the customs, how to get the insider's price on maintenance and work. Go, figure out what you need to get done. If you're getting your walls repainted, then go to the store you don't want to work with, maybe a couple of stores you don't want to work with, or a contractor you're not interested in, and talk to that person about it. Talk to that other store. Get the inside lingo about, okay, what does it take to prep a wall for painting? Find out what those words are, find out what's involved with it, and then when you go to the person you do want to work with, you're going to already have the language. You're going to know what is involved in this task, so then you're going to be able to drop specific terms that tell the person that you're working with that you know what's going on, and you're going to get a lower price because they don't have to put as much effort in. They know they can't jack their prices because you know what the deal is. You know how the whole thing works. You know what needs to be done. You're not going to get hoodwinked. When you go to attend an event, find out what the event is for, and then find out what the hot issues are in that field, and make sure you have a few things to say about those issues. Those are hot buttons that will get people talking, and then you get to learn. You get to sound smart. You sound like you know what's going on, because you do, and they get to talk. And then you can use any number of the techniques we've gone over earlier to keep that conversation going. And boy, are they going to think a lot of you. To make someone feel like you are already a pea in their pod, use familiarity. Smart humans break bread together, play together, everything together. So let's get you to be a pea in their pod. The first is notice how they move and mimic and mirror their movements. People like things that are familiar. So if you use their movements instead of your own and use their words instead of your own, you're going to get into the in crowd almost immediately. They're going to feel like you're familiar, like you're family. If they're using visual references, if they say, "Oh, I see what you mean," you say, "I see that." You say, "I hear you." If they're not a visual person, if they're an auditory person, if they say that, it just doesn't feel right. "Yeah, I feel you." Use their words, use their movements. Don't use your own, use theirs, and they will feel like you are already family and already on the in. Praise versus flattery, not the same thing. So a compliment from a new person is much, much more potent than from someone you already know. Take it a step further and say something nice about someone when they're not around. Say it to someone who's going to repeat it to them. Start a good rumor mill. It's like a rumor mill, but it's with good things. So if you say something really nice about Sarah to Jennifer, eventually Jennifer is going to go tell Sarah, "Oh my goodness, she said the nicest thing about you the other day." That's amazing. Sarah feels really great because you said that you're talking about her in a positive way to other people. That's a great feeling. A way to sneak a compliment in is to just throw in a tidbit about something when you're talking about something totally different. For example, "You're such a great lawyer, you would have seen this immediately, but I was an idiot and I signed it." The only pro tip on this, don't expect the person you said the nice thing about to remember anything after the compliment. They're going to be so hung up on, "Oh my gosh, you think I'm a great lawyer," they might not register a single thing you say after that. So be prepared for that. Praise immediately. If someone gets off stage after a great presentation, you say, "That was awesome, good job, fantastic, you totally rock." Don't tell them the next day. Tell them right away. This is the one time when lying is okay. If someone just gave an average presentation, you can still say it was great, because anything they feel after that is going to get forgiven. Either they will remark on your kindness, or they will really feel like they did a good job. Regardless of how well they did, you praise immediately, and they will be thankful for it. The way to receive a compliment is to give it right back. If someone says, "That's a great purse," say, "Oh, how very kind of you," or "Fantastic watch, I love it. So nice of you, I love this watch, thank you." Just, give it right back, say something kind about the person who said it. It carries a lot of weight. Let's tackle the phone. You need to replace your gestures with words when you're on the phone and crank every single thing up 30% or more. 30% of our context is lost when when we're over the phone, and 70% is lost in writing, like through emails. So crank it up and replace all of you can't nod, you can't shake your head, things like that. Any gesture, you've got to replace it with words, and you've got to replace them with engaging words, and crank it up, make it passionate and exciting. To establish intimacy over the phone, use the person's name a lot more than you normally would. Like at the end of every sentence, within the sentence, that people love hearing their names. It's the most beautiful sound in the world to most people. So use that a lot more when you're over the phone and can't be in person. Don't smile the instant you answer the phone. The voice sounds different when you smile on the phone. So if you wait just a second till you figure out who the person is, then smile, then they feel that you're smiling for them, that you're happy that they called, rather than that you just always answer the phone happy. Always make friends with the person you're calling's partner, their assistant, their support person, anything. Do not discount the support people in the person's life. If their spouse thinks you're annoying, that matters. If their spouse thinks you're a great, thoughtful, helpful person, that matters. Always ask about the timing of your calls. If you call someone, you gotta say, "Hey, do you have a minute to talk? Hey, what color is your time?" If you're green and you got a lot of time, you can talk it out. If you're yellow, you gotta get to it fast. If you're red, no, I can't talk. My boss is right here. I'll have to call you back. You can use that scale if you want, but always ask about the timing. Don't just assume everyone has time to talk when you call. You can, in most places, legally and ethically record a phone conversation. If I'm going to be on a conversation with someone that's going to have a lot of detail or things I'm going to need to know for future to remember, I'm going to be writing things down furiously, or I can just record the conversation and let them know that you're doing it. But most people, most important people, don't have a problem with conversations being recorded. And then you don't have to ask for them to repeat the information. You don't have to worry about getting numbers mixed up, because I mix up numbers a lot. I don't know about you. You don't have to ask any of that. It's just all recorded. It's right there. And then you can listen to it again and see if there's something in the context you missed. You can always go back to that conversation and make sure you got everything right. How to work a party. Number 1 is find out what the reason is for the party. Is it a kid's birthday party? Or is the boss's son newly single and is looking for potential partners, and so the party will be stocked with eligible, intelligent women? Find out what the reason is for the party. When you get to the party, don't immediately just go in the door and beeline for somebody. You gotta stop in the door, pause, survey what's going on, where are people, what's the atmosphere, pick out a few people you want to talk to, and then gradually go over. This establishes that dramatic entrance where you get your framing effect in the door, and then you choose your people. Go talk to one of them. Do it slowly. Don't beeline to them. Also, don't get food or drink right away. Go connect with someone first, because it's just easier to establish connections with people if you're not carrying food and your drink and trying to talk to someone right away. It's just easier. It establishes better connection. Do go get your food, just don't do it immediately. You want to be the chooser and not the choosy. So you got to pick your people right away. Pick 3 or 4 people who you want to talk to. Find your way to one of them. Stand confidently. Don't hide in a corner. Stand like you own the place, even if you don't. No one's going to assume negative things if you stand confidently. You want to be confident and approachable. If your conversation partner turns away, don't assume they're being rude or uninterested. Just think, how can I say something, or what can I say to turn the conversation a different direction? Because possibly they just got distracted. Don't assume the worst. Breaking the biggest glass ceiling of all. Don't see bloopers, only grace. If you're at a dinner with important people, one of them could literally knock over their water glass in the middle of the dinner, and nobody at the table is even going to blink or notice. They only see grace. They don't even notice when something goes awry. I mean, they might help you. They might put a towel or a napkin on it so it doesn't, spread. But they don't even mention it. It doesn't even register on their radar. Be that person. Be one of the important people and only see grace from others. Parties are for fun. They are not for negotiations. They are not for confrontations. They are for fun. As with meals, a business breakfast, lunch, or dinner, those are for pleasant times. Those are for eating and bonding, but they are not for unpleasant topics. If you need information from someone, say an example is you're checking into the ER because you got a cut on your hand or something, well, you're going to get a lot more out of the person if you let them tell you everything that happened, let them spew out their words before you ask any questions that you need the information for. If you let them tell you what happened, why is your hand cut, what happened to you, oh my goodness, tell me everything. Let them tell you, then say, okay, I am so sorry that happened to you, or whatever. And then ask them, okay, could I see your insurance card? Let's get the business things done, and let's get you taken care of. They're not going to have as good of a response if you immediately say, oh, you have a cut hand? Okay, where's your insurance card? How are you going to pay for this? That doesn't go over as well. They're just going to get annoyed. Let them tell you their story, and then ask for your information. If you mess up with someone, let's say you knocked something off their desk and it broke, get them a prettier, cooler thing. and apologize. Say, I am so sorry I broke your pencil holder. I got you this one. I thought it seemed really you, and I hope you like it. I am very sorry that happened. And then every time they see it, they'll remember how thoughtful you were. Always appreciate service people. Appreciate the people who, the concierge service, appreciate the housekeepers, appreciate the valet, everybody. Appreciate the assistants and the support people. Absolutely everyone. Say nice things about them. Give their boss nice notes about how great they are. Those are the gold. Appreciate them, and you'll always get amazing service. To be a leader in a crowd, be the first to clap. Be the first to show a positive response or reaction. That shows that you are confident in how you feel and what you think, in your opinion, in your judgment, regardless of what anyone else thinks. You decide, I'm going to clap because I think that was great. Not, I'm going to clap because, I guess everyone else is clapping, so I'll clap too. Be the first and trust your judgment. That shows that you're a leader. Thank you so much for watching. If you got anything at all out of this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Leave your favorite conversation starter in the comments and let's see what we get. For how to find and tell your stories when you go to these social gatherings, click here and I'll see you there. Keep being amazing.